What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Welcome to tonight's show. Sonny, you want to say what up?
Hey y'all.
All right. We got a great show lined up for y'all tonight. We're going to be talking about Daredevil, Born Again. Daredevil is back in the MCU and doing his thing on Disney Plus. Disney Plus finally said, "Hey, we ready for it. We ready for the hardcore, the dark, grimy, gritty stories that we used to have on Netflix." And and they made it happen. We're gonna talk all about it. We're gonna do a quick review, talk about just the overall like feelings about the show, and then we're gonna jump into a more detailed recap. I'm gonna keep this on real like high level, just because we're gonna try to jump through about 5 different episodes at least. Well, probably at least 4, if not 5 different episodes of content, and just kind of talk about our feelings about the show, about the episodes, about the characters, all the things. You know how we do it around here. So we're gonna get into that in a second. But in the meantime, make sure you guys head on over to our website at gftradioshow.com for all of our links, our socials, our recaps, and make sure you join the conversation over at Join the Conversation group, facebook.com/group/GFT Join the Conversation, where you can link up with us, have great conversations, great topics. You know the deal. So make sure you guys do that. In the meantime, Sonny, from a high-level quick review of Daredevil Born Again, episodes 1 through 5, what was your thoughts, feelings, and did you like the show? Did you like how it started off? Keep it spoiler free, but just tell us, what was your feelings about it, this reintroduction to Daredevil?
Well, I was super excited that they brought the people back, the same characters, because when you switch platforms and stuff could change and stuff. So I was glad to see the Daredevil that we started out on Netflix be the Daredevil we saw on Disney Plus. As a whole, it took me maybe a couple episodes to get into it. It took me a lot to get through episode 1. I know it was a lot that was done in episode 1, and I did work that episode, but it was good. Like overall, I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad at how they chose to develop these characters. I love all of it. So I'm excited to see what next season brings.
Yes, definitely excited to see what next season brings, especially because they definitely. I mean, we was going through it through this first season. I was like, is this season 1? Is this season 4? I don't know what to call it from a season standpoint, but it's definitely a great series. Like you said, coming from Netflix, moving over to Disney, we definitely didn't know exactly what to expect when it came to how much they were going to keep intact, what they were going to retcon, like you said, with the characters, seeing that, they brought some characters back, we got to see similar tone, similar, veracity when it came to, how, and actually, I mean, low key, I mean, I definitely have to say that I was, pretty bad at watching the last season or the last season and a half of Daredevil on Netflix. I was getting so distracted with other shows, other things going on in life at that time. So I didn't get a chance to finish that series. But from the first season and the beginning of the second season, this continuation, it was much more, I guess, violent, much more, a little bit more blood and guts than I expected. But I was all for it.
Definitely was. I felt like I was watching I felt like I was watching one of like them Asian shows, when the horror flicks and they have all the blood. And this was a lot.
Exactly. So I was definitely surprised by how much more into it they were than what we would have expected from a Disney Plus TV show. I know Disney dedicated themselves to kind of creating a space for these more adult themes and these more adult shows and programs. And because I even not, I mean, it was the funny thing is I have a lock on my account, not because I'm trying to keep anybody from seeing the adult stuff, but because I hate that my kids will jump in my account and then mess up my algorithm and my and my profile, watching shows. So I lock mine so I can just just keep my playlist and
You
keep
gotta
my.
tell me how to do that.
Yeah.
You gotta tell me how to do
It was
that.
a feature they introduced so that way people who have younger kids, they don't have to worry about them watching Daredevil. So but I definitely use it just to keep my profile clean and just the stuff I want to watch, because my Netflix one got all messed up until I switched it around. I had to move my profile pictures around so then that way
And that's
everybody
what
knows
it's funny
into
because my daughter be logging into my Disney Plus, and then it's like it was driving me crazy. So I'm like, who is doing it? And then I you could tell what devices and stuff. I'm not doing it, and now I got all these shows and with Disney Plus you can't just take them off and continue watch.
exactly. Yeah.
So you got to show me when we get off live. You got to show me how to do that because I got to lock
for
mine
sure.
because
Yeah. Lock it up. Make them get on their own
especially with
profile.
my grandbaby. I be watching all the everything, and I'm like,
right. Yeah, you don't want the grandbaby shows in your shows, and they're messing up your last.
She got
watch.
her own profile.
Literally, yeah. But let's get back to Daredevil. So yeah, like you said, I definitely enjoyed this first season of Born Again. Definitely enjoy the tone of it, the characters. I was definitely getting into, like you said, the first episode was a little hard to watch. It was a little slow at first. I mean, it started off fast, but then it got a little slow. But it was like, I knew I one thing I do appreciate about Daredevil is it never feels rushed. Somebody was mentioning that one of the episodes felt a bit rushed or a bit put together, but even that didn't feel rushed. It just felt like they kind of pieced certain things together to kind of make it work. But I definitely feel like it's one of those series where it's a slow burn, but it's also the continuity and the impact is always there. So I definitely still appreciated that they kept that part of it going. And story wise, I was kind of surprised that they didn't pull a bit more of the MCU references into it. They did a good job, I think, of making some references, but I definitely felt like it was less than I expected, only because when it was on Netflix, I felt like that separation kind of was default, had to be there. Because they wanted it to be a part of it, but without being so blatant. But with it being fully on board now, I just thought they were going to be throwing references everywhere. I think there was a couple of times where they did, they were like, oh, the guy in the spider suit, in the this and the that, and somebody mentioned the scrolls at one point. So I was like, okay, yeah, they throwing the references in there. But yeah, I don't know. I really did expect to see. I mean, we did get a cameo from another MCU show. We'll talk about that later. But I definitely was expecting a couple of more cameos, maybe actual name drops of a couple of characters outside of just. I mean, they can't really even mention Spider-Man, but it was another character I was expecting them to name drop, but they didn't. I was like, oh, that's weird.
I think they name dropped one, and then one showed up.
Yeah,
another
exactly.
one showed up. So I like. I think it was because I don't. And for me, as far as the cameos or name dropping, I didn't want, because I feel like you gotta. It's a lot, right? I felt like when you come back from like a break, as Daredevil was, it was like a good break in between the Netflix version and now this version. I felt like I didn't want it to come like I said, I just started. I still haven't finished Loki and not Loki. What the hell is it? Oh my God, Wolverine and
Wolverine and Daredevil. Yeah,
and Daredevil. Not Daredevil. What's his name?
No, I'm saying Daredevil. He is wearing the same suit. What is that man's name?
My God,
you say Daredevil. Right. The merc with the mouth.
Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool.
But like that was a lot of trying to make it make sense, right? Yeah. In that movie, like, cause I got through most of half of the movie, but I feel like with that one, it was a lot to
You only
try to
looked at that?
make
Oh man, I watched that straight through. As soon as I got a chance to watch that, I watched that.
It's a hard watch for me, but I'm just like, that made me feel like it was a lot going on to make it make sense. And I didn't want that for Daredevil. I wanted Daredevil to have the same integrity, almost like how it had on Netflix. Like it had some stuff, like you've seen some people come in and stuff like that, but it wasn't like overkill. I like that it was simple.
Well, yeah. No, I agree. The overkill would have killed it. So yeah, you're right. You're right.
And like with Daredevil and the type of job he is and who he is, it felt like it would have been cheesy. If that makes sense.
Good point. Good point. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I definitely would have felt like it would have reduced the impact if you're name dropping these people, but then they're not showing up when you're in trouble, right? It's like, there was a couple of situations where it was like, if these other characters were involved, why won't they show up and help with this situation, or why won't they come in and rectify this when Daredevil is doing this all alone? I mean, that man be on the brink of death every episode. So it's like, I definitely feel like it's a good thing that they kind of try to keep it, kind of slightly separate. And plus, too, I definitely felt like the one thing about the MCU is, I mean, they have to, because they can't afford to pay everybody to be in every show, but they definitely do a fairly good job of being like, this is their problem, and they're going to handle this problem, and then once it becomes a world problem, then we'll bring everybody together.
Yeah, but I like that they
throwing 100 characters into every show.
Yeah, they kept it realistic. Like realistically, cameo who they had in this season made sense because of where they are.
Exactly.
With the name drop, it was right there. So Jason.
Right.
So it makes sense, right? That's believable rather than having like somebody like Thor come out of nowhere. Like that doesn't.
Yeah.
Like it's just random as hell. So like I like that they kept it realistic. Even though it's a TV show, like
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and speaking of which, that's the one thing I also like about these. What they call these the street level characters, because they're a little bit more true to life or real life kind of scenarios and situations. Is that it doesn't go too crazy with the magic and the superhero stuff. To the point of like total disbelief and total craziness. But I mean, Daredevil definitely has a few special abilities that are above and beyond. But I definitely feel like it's so grounded. I like the groundedness of it.
Yeah, it's gritty.
Being able to, like I said, the realism that they kind of try to bring to it, things that people are actually going through and that kind of stuff as well. I mean, there was a couple of monologues where it was like, dang, like they're speaking about right now, they're speaking about real life. So it was, I definitely like that. But yeah, so if you haven't watched Daredevil Born Again season 1, I guess, season 4, I guess, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, Daredevil Born Again.
Make sure you guys go watch that on Disney Plus. It's on right now. The first season is on there. I think season 2 is slated to come out in spring of 2026, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong, but they also move these schedules around so much, so keep up. But yeah, season 1 went off without a hitch and with a bang, and it was a great show. Definitely, I'm after we start talking about it, you'll know why. But I'm definitely going to give it a hot 8 because I loved it.
I think I'm gonna agree with you and give it a 8. Even though like I said, even though the first episode took me a minute to get through, I'm actually glad I stuck with it. I think it was better for me than when I started WandaVision. I think WandaVision was like a struggle.
Yeah. Which was the crazy part for me, because I absolutely loved WandaVision, but I also could see how it could be very challenging for a lot of folks to watch, because of like if you're totally out of the loop of what's happening and why it's happening, you're looking at it from a standpoint of like, I don't know what's happening
yet. I don't understand. But I knew what was going on. I've been watching everything, but it just, I think for me, it moved a lot slower for me. But like this was like getting through. Once I got through episode 1, I was locked in. It was like, okay, what's going on? And then I'm like, wait a minute. And then I didn't realize how many episodes it was. So I'm like, ain't no more.
No, right.
It's
Like,
done. It's
y'all got
done.
any more of those episodes back
Like,
there?
how you gonna end like that? Like, how you gonna
right.
like that?
Man, yeah. That the season was amazing. Like you said, because I think that was a thing, and that was the reason why I wanted to talk about episodes 1 through 5 was because like you said, episode 1 was kind of slow. It wasn't a lot that happened. It was there was we're gonna get to it and get to the spoilers. There was a big bang at the beginning, but then it was like okay, they were very very paced. Episode 2 was like a little bit more than paced. Episode 3 was a lot more, but then paced again. So it was like that back
like how they
forth.
did it.
Yeah. But once I hit 4 was it. It was like boom, and then all of a sudden,
it was a lot happening.
Everything was happening. 4, 5. I just went ahead and just binge 6 through 9.
Yeah.
I just went ahead and binge those, like I think in the same night. So it was it was a lot that was happening. There was a lot of action. There was a lot of story happening, and there was some anticipation for things that made me feel like yeah, I need to keep watching this and see what's happening next. And it just moved along so quickly at the after the midpoint of the season. So yeah, definitely. All right, so make sure you guys, if you haven't watched it, we're about to get into the spoiler recap. Go watch the show, enjoy it, embrace it. Get through episode 1 if you're that kind of person that you feel like I need all action all the time. It's not going to be like that. The beginning, it's worth it though. It's worth the wait. It is worth the wait. The show is, or the series itself is a slow burn series, but it's worth the wait, and it's only 9 episodes. So believe me, by midway, you're going to be like, I need more episodes. So
as soon as you get to it, you're like, oh god, and then you like watching it. It's like, wait. It's over.
right. Man. So spoilers. All right. So Daredevil Born Again, episode 1. I definitely, like you said, I was happy to see Karen Page back, Foggy Nelson back. It was definitely like that heartwarming feeling, like our old gang is back together, And
I Googled it before I watched it to make sure. I just like, even with the other people, I wanted them to be back, but I also wanted I did not want Daredevil to change.
Yeah,
I wanted it to be the same guy that I saw on Netflix because I really like him as an actor, and I like the way he played that role, and just how he was like. And I meant to Google, and I can't remember. I know I Googled, was he really blind? I Googled that.
Yeah,
but like even like how he like all that, it just was like that's amazing acting. So
for sure. Yeah, Charlie Cox is amazing. I definitely couldn't see them making another Daredevil without Charlie Cox in it. I just was like, there's no way. Like even if they didn't put Karen and Foggy back in at all, I would have been still happy with it. Just having Daredevil back, or having Charlie Cox back as Daredevil, having John Bernthal back as Punisher. I definitely was like, that was what I was looking forward to.
I was so happy to see. I hope they give him another series, but.
Oh, they're supposed to. Yeah.
Okay, because I like him as a Punisher.
They greenlit the new Punisher. Now the question is it going to be a series, a limited series, or just a special presentation? That's the question. I don't know if you ever watched one of the other special presentations, like the one they did for the werewolf one, and the one it was another one they did before that.
Oh, the Wolf by Night.
Yeah, Wolf by Night.
Yeah, I like Wolf by Night though.
Yeah, where it was just like a 90-minute little thing. So so they said it might be that, but they're still working out the kinks on that and figuring that out. I know John Bernthal is pretty busy too, so that's the one thing about it. But yeah, so when it opened up, I definitely was like happy about that, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna take that away."
That kind of threw me because it's like, why?
Exactly.
But then it made it make sense for me with the title Reborn. So something has to go to make it a different version of what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense. So like, and I didn't get that until like the end. It's like, well, damn, like why they had to take my boy? Like,
I know, right?
that's
And Foggy was
bullshit.
a
Like,
great
he was
character
out here
too.
minding his business, living his best life, being a great wingman. He was excited about life, and then y'all gonna take Foggy, yo?
Man, that was heartbreaking. That was heartbreaking. I mean, it was like you said, it was one of those things where it was like, okay, I guess this is essential to the growth and the difference between what was going on in Daredevil season 3 versus what we're going to get with this going forward. And it also, it created the opportunity for Matt to be more introspective of the life he was leading as a vigilante and the life he wanted to lead as an attorney,
Yeah.
And I think that the one thing I didn't, so that I think this is one of the things that I didn't like, and I probably took a quarter point off for this is the way that they did with Karen, where they just took her out of the picture.
Yeah.
And it made it more like it was like this strain on their relationship because of what was happening. And my thing was Karen and I think Foggy too had already gotten to the point where they had rectified that the things that could happen to them had nothing to do with Daredevil. It had more to do with life in Hell's Kitchen, right? And so to make it seem like she was walking away, like it was his fault or like it was the fault of Daredevil, it just seemed thrown off. Like that, I didn't like that part of it because it was like, they had already come to grips with that part of it, the part of being part of the Daredevil team. And so, I was happy later on when they brought her back, but I just felt like it was, one of those things where it was, I want to call it a missed opportunity, but I think also what I realized later when he ends up with the psychiatrist lady, the therapist, is that this was also another door to open for him to find another new love interest, right? I know him and Karen didn't have anything by the end of season 3, but I felt like it was still that undertone, right? That sexual tension undertone, all the things. I don't know what everybody sees in Blind Matt, but they love Blind Matt. So, I definitely felt like it was one of those things where they might have done it also to kind of reduce that situation from being so tenuous, What up, though, Nye?
What's going on?
Oh, not much. We already into the spoilers right now. We're talking about we're still only on episode 1, talking about bringing everybody back and then losing them again.
Foggy, Karen leaving.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. So what was your feelings when you first got to see that the whole gang was back, and then next thing you know, Dex
right from it, right?
Yeah. Dex tears Foggy away from us, puts him in the dirt. Like, what the heck?
Man, listen, I was hurt. Watching Foggy bleed out hurt me bad, man.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't see that coming. So
right. I was gonna say that. Yeah, exactly.
I was like, then they're gonna take Foggy. Like, that's like the heart and soul of
Foggy, man.
Of Daredevil.
Not Foggy.
Yeah.
Like you said, it is. Foggy Nelson is the heart and soul. Like, he's Daredevil's conscience, man.
That part.
So like even in the books, that's his right hand for since forever.
Yeah.
Even in the books, I want to say a year, maybe 2 ago, Foggy died, and Matt literally fought to get to heaven to bring him back. His soul got taken to hell, and his soul got sent to hell, and because he was possessed by Agent of the Hand, and he literally fought to get into hell to win Foggy's soul back. Like, that's how thick him and Foggy are. So to see them all Foggy just to start the season, like to start the episode, that's how we're gonna start it before the credits roll.
Before the credits roll. I forgot about that, bro. We didn't even have credits yet, and Foggy on the ground bleeding out, like, bro.
Bleeding out, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and then my thing is, this one thing I always love about this show is the sound, the cinematography, everything about this show is always so on point. Is him climbing those stairs, fighting Dex.
Oh my God.
And all you hear is Foggy's heartbeat slowing down, bro. And
because he can hear it the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
That was just sad. That was like heartbreaking because like you can't see it, but and that's the thing. I think that was a takeaway because he's blind. He couldn't see it. You the way he felt it is the way that we needed to hear to take it in is to listen to your friend heartbeat. Like he heard the gunshot. He heard the shit going down, and like even when he was outside, when he was on the phone before anything happened, he was alert, talking and key, and then he like, wait, something happening, and no matter what you're trying to stop something from happening, and realize that all hell breaking loose, and there ain't shit you could do about it because you're not going to get there in time. You're not Flash. You're Daredevil. You can't get there that
That's a good point.
And you know it's up. So to your point, hearing the heartbeat slow down is like crazy. Like who would think to put that in, but because of who he is and his actual character, to take that in is like, damn.
Yeah, no. So again, me being the comic nerd that I am, I remember Karen dies in the book.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So for them to, I love when comic book adaptations say we gonna flip the lid on this. I mean, we know what y'all nerds know. We know what y'all expect at some point. So we gonna go ahead and just do some complete opposite. Like it used to happen in The Walking Dead all the time, where it's like, okay, I know this person dies at this part of the story, and they end up killing off somebody else. Right. So to see that Karen is alive and they took Foggy instead, it was a good shock. Like I don't want it to be too predictable just because I know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like certain scenes, you want to see dramatized in live action. Like, of course, those of us who watched that original bad Daredevil movie, who was comic book fans, we wanted to see Daredevil, not Daredevil, we wanted to see Bullseye and Elektra go at it or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Right. So they gave us that, but it was corny. And then, Daredevil spinning the block on Bullseye, they gave us that, but it was corny. Whereas in this Daredevil spinning, fighting to save Foggy, like you said, that fight was incredible. I don't know what it is about the fight choreographers and closed spaces for this series,
bro.
But man, they understand how to work these closed spaces.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely was a good one to see. And then like just the emotion, like you could feel the emotion in that whole fight. Like he going through it, but he like, I got like you nigga, I got to take you out. Like and like even to the part where he was like, he almost killed that man. He almost did.
Sure.
He almost
tried
did.
He tried to.
He was trying to. And then it's like that moment of thought is like, okay, like I gotta stop myself because this is do like even though my friend is on the ground gone, I gotta do what he would want me to do. I can't go beyond. So even when he was losing his conscience, he still had his conscience, if that makes sense.
Right. To a degree, because he still tossed him off. Once he realized the heartbeat stopped, he's like, no, you gotta go. And even the way he tossed him off, I thought was thorough. Like it wasn't that angry. Boo, 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 boo. He just kind of like, man, get out of here.
He was fighting it. He was fighting it, but he was also like, no.
It was like,
wow, you went too far. That's my guy.
That's what it was. It was like, wow. Why at this point am I standing on, protecting your life?
Right.
He's not here anymore. You know what? I give up. Like that's what that moment really said. Like I give up. I tried doing it the way that I thought was right. I tried doing all this, and it just cost me my best friend. You know what?
Yeah. So I'm done with everything. Like I don't care about nothing. And,
It's
like that last bit of a moment of Karen.
Yeah.
Like because I don't even think that he cared. I think it was just like I'm sick of it. Throw him off again. Like once he heard his heartbeat. He like, motherfucker, is he still alive? Like,
yeah. Because he didn't know the surgery that they did on him. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
So he didn't know that he would be tough enough to survive there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And that was the one thing I was missing a little bit because I was like, I remembered, like you said, from the comic books, like that Dex had. The surgery, but I didn't know it happened in season 3. Like I said, I didn't actually get a chance to finish season 3.
Oh.
But, So when I saw it, I was like, that's got to be what it was. That's the only way he survived that fall, because that fall was diabolical. So it was definitely like, yeah, he was really trying to murder that man. he was like, he's like, I'm done with you. And like you said, he was done with trying to hold back. And the fact that he had taken at least 10, maybe 15 knives while he was walking up some stairs. He was done. He was done with that, so it wasn't
the abuse that Daredevil takes, man. It's insane. It is insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like any of his powers like have anything to do with his ability to take that level of abuse.
Exactly. No, exactly.
It's all in his psychology.
What's the explanation? I think he was doing the boxing thing. He was also doing the
ninja training. The stuff he learned from Stick.
From Stick, yep, exactly. So it was like all the abuse he took through all that is the only thing that helps him with this kind of stuff. So he don't heal any faster than nobody else.
Right.
He
just got a high pain threshold.
He's just out here.
Just from training. So yeah, but it's definitely sad to see that happen. And then I was just telling Sonny, that was my thing about the after effects of this, is that Karen and Foggy had already come to grips with what it was going to take to be a part of this vigilante lifestyle, but to see that this death still strained their relationship was like that was to me. Like I didn't really like that part of it. I was like, this shouldn't be a part of it. You know what I'm saying?
But maybe, but I just thought about, maybe it was because after this happened, like we see shortly after, it's like a break in like years later, and or however many, I forget what the break was, and then he's coming out of whatever.
It was a year.
Yeah, so he comes back out of it. So maybe during that time he just kind of stopped talking to her because he lost his friend, and then it was like maybe it was less her and more of him. Like I almost killed this man. Like the fact that I wanted to kill this man, knowing that even though my friend is no longer here, he wouldn't want that. And now my moral compass is gone. So I can't be around you because something happened to you.
I think I forgot about. Yeah, I think I forgot about that. He did bring that up, and I think she was kind of speaking to that a little bit. I mean, I think it was a two-way street with the not calling or the not responding to each other. But then when he did reach out, because it was this scene right here where I think he mentioned to her, like, I reached out to you, and she was like, yeah, no, I wasn't with it right there. So,
because she was like, I loved him too. Like, it was hard for me too. I lost, you didn't just lose your best friend. I lost my best friend too. Mm-hmm. And I think that also, because if you remember, before he ran off, the whole thing with the witness or whatever, the client that Foggy was representing, and he was like, you had him stashed. Why didn't you say anything? And Foggy was like, maybe I didn't want to give you an excuse. Because they didn't want him to go back to that Daredevil life. So it wasn't just like, they knew what it took for him to be Daredevil. They thought they had got to the point where he wouldn't do Daredevil no more. Right. You got White Tiger out there, because remember that too.
Yeah.
So you got White Tiger taking a space where picking up, that's like where Daredevil don't have to be out there doing those nightly patrols and all that stuff that he used to do. So they thinking, okay, they all at this space. You know what I'm saying? We're sticking to the law. We're doing this kind of stuff. Matt doesn't have to be Daredevil no more. You know what I'm saying? Everything's cool. It's kind of like if you thought your friend was clean. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you didn't want to take him to the bar because you knew he was going to relapse again. Because there's always that violent part they worry about with him. Not just the fact that he could get killed, but how violent he gets.
Right.
So it's like we're trying to protect you from that life, and we thought we had you here. And then not only did, Foggy died, Karen saw he dropped that man off the roof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When she turned, because at first she thought it was Matt, and she didn't want to turn around. She's like, no. And then she saw who it was. So then she realized what happened. Mm-hmm. So it's like, again, I thought we reconciled, and I thought we got you to this place where you wouldn't be that kind of guy no more. And here it is. You just tried to kill this man.
Like, you basically took him out. You lucky he still got a heartbeat. You out here wilding.
Right. So it's like, do I even really know you anymore?
Yeah, like who are you? You supposed to have a change, supposed to be getting your shit together, and you just as soon as something go left. Yes, I understand that this
back on that drug, back on that violent drug.
You out here on bullshit. You with the shits.
There you go. So it's like you lost everything.
Yeah.
Lost Foggy and lost who she thought her man was. Because clearly they're together basically by that time.
Right. Yeah, man. So yeah. But again, I was saying too, I was like, I think that was another way for them to kind of pull that extra thing out so that he could pursue a different relationship. Because it's not a Daredevil season without a new love interest.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Daredevil be out here big. Matt be out here big pimping.
Yes, he do.
Matt be out here blind and pulling the Ray Charles.
Yeah, he sure enough do. That blind Riz is crazy.
Listen.
That blind Riz is crazy. He out there feeling their wrists.
That part.
Exactly. When he felt old girl face, I was like, that blind Riz on overdrive tonight.
Undefeated.
Man. But yeah, so like you said, we're a year later. Things are definitely turned around. It's a whole different situation. He done gave up being Daredevil again. He done really just kind of like bear down. Now he's also working with what was her name?
I can't remember her name.
Yeah, Kirsten.
Yep.
I got the list here. I was supposed to be ready.
Yeah,
I was like,
she would have been Foggy girlfriend because Foggy was hitting on her that night.
Yeah, Foggy was supposed to be one getting lucky that night.
Kirsten McDuffie, yeah. So Kirsten McDuffie done got together, made them their own law office now, and they got a staff, everything. So he's in the full blown legal life, which can also lend to why that first episode got a little slow after all the excitement at the beginning, because we seeing his life, we seeing what's going on, and then we also have the view perspective into Fisk's new life and what he's coming back to, and seeing Wilson Fisk coming back on the screen, bro. I mean, we don't already had a taste of Wilson with Echo with Hawkeye, so we don't already had these inklings and these things coming along, so we don't see him in action already. But what about Daredevil Born Again and then Wilson Fisk coming back to this made you guys excited for Wilson Fisk, for Kingpin, for Mayor Kingpin? What got you guys excited with this one?
I was not excited to see that man. I really wasn't. Like, because it's about to be some shit. Like, and then he coming out like he a changed man. Sir, I don't know why you lying like this. That was like, it was not like, yes, as a character, it was not believable to me. Like, he about to be in here on some bullshit from the gate. Like, I don't know why he pretending like he trying to be on the up and up. Like, now he's a changed man. You a straight Kingpin. We all know it. There's nothing going to change except for a title, Mayor Kingpin. Like, this is who you are. Like, it's nothing more. No matter how much you try to dress it up. I did not like seeing him, but I also understood why we saw him, and then I knew that was going to stir up a lot for Daredevil and what all he could potentially do. I did not understand. I did like his wife's part of it. It was like, okay, she was holding stuff down, but it was like, it for me. It was like, girl. Like, I don't know why you think you got this. You don't. This man is still.
Yeah. So actually, I don't know if maybe you didn't see. I think it was Hawkeye. So in Hawkeye,
I did see Hawkeye.
So in Hawkeye, she had already taken over the business.
Yeah,
but like taken over the business, and she was working basically as his partner. But then after the events of Hawkeye. At the end, when he got shot by Echo, he dropped off the face of the earth. And then when he went into the Echo series, he never really came back home.
Yeah, he didn't go back home to space.
She was been full blown.
I can't buy her ass. but for me personally, it's just like I can't see her. Like, I don't know, for me, what made her think that she was about to be in charge, like, or be his legit partner, in like for real, like going into this.
She had
just like any wife who's that much in the mix of her husband's business. She thinks she can run it just like her husband can. Go ahead, find a bunch of wives who think that they can't do their husband job just as well as their husband. Okay, go ahead. Tell me you can find.
My wife can do my job, whatever.
Okay.
I'm done with you.
Most dudes running the empire, especially when they let their wife see how much goes into it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was so big on not keeping secrets from her because he wanted her to love him for him.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that he was a monster, that she did see everything that was going on. She knew the major players, the minor players, all that kind of stuff. So he was, in essence, grooming her, you know what I'm saying, for what would eventually happen, even though he didn't see that coming. So,
but you know what you guys are forgetting? Vanessa already had her own criminal empire before she got with Wilson Fisk. She was already running a money laundering, art dealing,
he was a white collar criminal.
He was already a criminal mastermind before she got with Wilson. So she just needed the empire behind her. She was already doing it at a smaller scale, but she was doing it. So
she was a white collar criminal. That's how he ran into.
You're right.
Whereas then, he is much more of the gangster organized crime situation. She was just more slick on hers. Like he said, it was smaller, but it was neater. You know what I'm saying? He exposed her to the violent side.
He needed her business sense.
Exactly.
Right. So then she got used to the violence.
How to get him. The money flowing, even if he was even while he was out of the way. So like I said, it makes sense, but like, really, girl, I don't know what made you think that he was gonna let you keep that going when he was back. Like, I don't know.
She didn't think he was coming back, remember?
Yeah, she did
not know that, but like once he came back, you really thought that you
no, that's why she was so upset. That's why she was so upset when he came back. Because that's exactly what she expected, is for him to just go ahead and snatch it back out of hands.
Yeah.
That's why she was so resentful.
But that's the thing, right? But he didn't, right? He said, he was like, I'm back. But then he's like, we're both out of this. We about to do something different.
Yeah.
That was like, that's what really had her twisted. Like, wait a minute, I done built this up. I done kept this going. I didn't know if you was ever coming back, and I done made this work. And now you just gonna take this away, and with no explanation,
right?
So I think that was what was for her, was like the slap in the face. I think, really, honestly, truly, you know what I'm saying? I think we don't really realize it until episode 3, I believe it is. But I think in episode 1, she was definitely like, wait a minute, like, bro, how you just come back up in here? I knew you was gonna be on some stuff if you came back, but I didn't know you was coming back, and now. All of a sudden, the stuff you want is, we're not doing this anymore? What do you mean?
Right. Like, it'd have been bad enough if you came back and he was just like, all right, move over, baby. I got it. That would have been an insult in and of itself. But at least we was been still. You telling me now you want me to get out the game?
Right. Yeah.
Nah, blood. You on some other stuff. And that's the fallout from Echo. So when you say you don't know why he changed. So when you said you don't know why he thought he changed, you got to remember what happened in Echo. Like, that whole thing rerouted his mind and his spirit to where he literally saw things a different way. Like, it wasn't about, being the kingpin for him anymore. It was genuinely like, yo, I need to give my city what I didn't have growing up. I didn't have nobody protect me growing up. I had my dad. You know what I'm saying? This city really needs to be protected from these weirdos out here, these blind ninjas, these, prosthetic deaf mutants, or whatever they would portray Echo to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, these Avengers, because keep in mind, he hated the Avengers too.
Yeah, so he didn't like nobody. He was like, fuck these people. We don't need these masked people out here doing bullshit.
So at the end of the day, he was genuine. He really genuinely was looking at things from a different aspect. It was just that he still knew he knew which part was still inside of him, but he thought he can get better. He thought he could do better. If I run for mayor, there's no reason for me to be sitting here killing people left and right.
Yeah,
because now I can legislate things
families, right? I think that was his other thing. Because I think honestly, I think he felt like the whole mob thing was beneath him anyway.
Yes,
I feel like he felt like that was so beneath him. It was a means to an end. But this right here was something with purpose, while he also got his his.
That's the word, Willie. Purpose. Yeah. Purpose. That incident with Echo made him find purpose.
Yeah.
And that's why he thought he could be a changed man.
And that's the thing. What greater purpose than to help, like you said, to help the city that he came from, to do what he felt would be necessary to benefit the people around him, but also from a standpoint of like, this is my purpose. This is what I was really supposed to be doing. Yep. And it's at a level that I'm supposed to be at, not down here with these peons and these ruffians. I'm up here as a king, as a true king, not just a kingpin, but as a true king.
That's a part.
And I think that's what made him feel like this was the right route to go. And now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like that also gave him the pause he needed to before he wanted to really kind of explain that to Vanessa. I think he wanted to show her. That was the one thing about Wilson Fisk. If nothing else, that man is a lover. He loved the
my God, he loved Vanessa.
And wanted to always show her before he could tell her what he was trying to do, what he was trying to be.
That's a fact. That's the thing about life, right? Is that when you have these traumatic experiences, it seems like it drives you to one extreme or the other. It's rarely you come out immediately balanced after. So somebody who saw his mom beat and smacked around was like, I'm never gonna be that man. I'm never going to be that man. Once I find a woman who loves me, I'm going to treat her like the salt of the earth.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk down to her. I'm going to treat her like an equal. I'm going to put her on a pedestal. And like you said, as opposed to all these big grand dreams that my dad supposedly had, I'm going to show you the work so that you can get on board with the plan.
Right.
So I found that dichotomy interesting too. That seemed to drive him very much about who his dad was.
All the time. Because he always wanted to be like his dad, but not be like his dad.
Exactly.
That's the irony in the irony. Really, I guess that's
right.
the best way to put it. Is the irony in the irony, because he's always been that way, where he's always tried to be. He tried to appear one way and be something else, and then he decided to not be this, but still be this. It's always that irony for him.
Yep, and that's where him and Matt fit perfectly together. Two different sides of the same coin. Where they're, like you literally just said, Willie, they're trying to not be this person who they are.
But they can't.
And they want other people to believe that they're this different person. So it's like you spend half the time trying to convince somebody that this is who you are. Matt wants to convince people that he's meek and he's mild and he's helpless, to a certain degree. Like, he don't want you to see the threat that he is. Whereas in Wilson, he wants you to think that he has control over things, when a lot of times he's like a raging monster.
Yeah. So he was getting mad off of a random shit. He got when it was on the bridge trying to get in traffic, he snapped. He's like, put it in there now. And it's like something that minor that doesn't like that. You can't just do that, Mayor. You can't do that. He like, yes, the fuck we can. It's right there. Dig this truck, figure it out. We got shit to do. Like, he very like, get it done. Like, I can't do it like this. What do you mean? I am who I am. It's like, I'm the president. What you mean I can't get this done? I got this power. And then in his mindset is, all right, so you're not gonna do it, then it's gonna be violence. Like, you gotta make it happen. Violence. It's very it's not your way. It's my way or violence. Both I like.
Right. I'm trying to learn how to do it this way because this is who I want to be. This is who I'm aspiring to be. But this is who I am over here. So you're going to mess around and make me be this.
That's crazy. He might be a Taurus. We be trying to be good, but then we'll fuck you up. Like we try to do it a nice way, but like then
That's how y'all moving, Sonny. That's how y'all
Right,
moving.
right.
Nah, because we be good until you piss us off. And then I was just telling somebody that today. We hate stupid. And I feel like he was in that moment. He was like, what you mean? Like it's people right here. Y'all can just move this. Like that's stupid. Why won't you just fill the hole? Hurry up and do it. Like it pisses like it's a and anything that irritates us is stupidity. Anything stupid, mild stupid, a minuscule stupid. We don't like it.
Mild stupid is crazy.
Instantaneously going to cause a reaction.
Right.
And we ain't even mad. We just irritated. Like, what the fuck? Make it make sense. It sound dumb. I don't like it.
That's hilarious.
Super. So what did y'all think about the coffee date between Matt and Fisk?
That's also great writing. Because again, they're two sides of the same coin. So you got both of them, with that heavy distrust for each other, yet some kind of weird level of mutual respect. Like even for Kingpin to say, like, it's not altogether terrible seeing you again. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, this is the guy who beat the crap out of you last year. This is a guy who literally put hands and feet all over you last year.
Right.
But y'all somehow was still able to come to some agreement where instead of killing you, he lets you go to jail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he lets your woman go free. Like that, like him being able to see that little bit of humanity in you to let your woman go free, endeared him to you. And likewise, you feel like, well, I did see that humanity in you, so I know you're not all monster. But right. Yeah, no, you deserve to get them paws put on you, bro. Like, I don't trust you, dog. I know who you really are. Like, I really don't trust you. He's like, I also don't trust you. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you that this is going to be law, and I don't want to see them, red tights and horns no more, boy. So, like, you going to hang it up, or it's going to be a problem. No, bro, you going to hang it up, or it's going to be a problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That mutual respect and mutual threat was crazy.
Beautifully done, man.
We both understand. And I think for Matt, I think Fisk irritate his spirit. Like, it's like knowing yourself. You know you're not going to change. I'm supposed to be born again. You saying you're born again. We both on bullshit. We understand, like I said, what's understood don't need to be explained. We know exactly who we are.
But you want to know what's crazy?
We know we're not changing.
But so you want to know what's crazy, though?
I'm with it, too.
You want to know what's crazy? I genuinely think they both wanted to be wrong about each other.
I think so, too.
I think they genuinely wanted to both be wrong about each other, because then it's like, I ain't got to deal with that nigga now, man. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that is literally one less thing on my plate. If I do not have to worry about, red suits and billy clubs flying all across, you know what I mean? My living room, I'm good. I get to do this mayor thing and everything gonna be cool. If I didn't got to worry about hired assassins and, drug dealers, out on the streets, I get to just be a lawyer. Like,
right.
All right, cool. I'm cool with things that way. So I think like that's what that meeting was too. Like, it definitely was a check. Like, hey, I see you, right, dog? I see you, right? Like, I'm not dumb. I know who you are. Exactly. And he's like, yeah, but I know who you are. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, even though they kind of said it to each other, like, like he was kind of like, best of good luck with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you think you got it, you go for it. Okay,
go for it.
Man,
yeah, that was really good writing, man.
Yeah,
amazing writing, and I definitely, like you said, I appreciate the mirror of the two, and like I said, that mutual respect with that mutual threat. I definitely think that for this meeting to happen so early in the season, I was like, yeah, they already that for me was the catapult for the season. Was like, oh, they already facing each other. They already like, I know who you are, you know who I am. We know what we about to do. So let's just get down to it. Let's get down to what we not gonna do here. And they they chopped it up like that. I definitely felt like, oh, this is it's about to be some shit in this season. They about to get off to a running start. They're not playing, so I definitely felt like it was on some next level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, it's about to be interesting. It's about to be an interesting ride, and I can't wait for it.
So tell me what you guys thought about some of the other characters. The first one that comes to my mind is Daniel.
Man,
I don't like him.
Man. He a piece of work, Danny.
Say it again.
I would say he a piece of work, ain't he?
Oh, like, yes. Oh my God.
If ever I seen a junior Fisk or like
Right. He wanted to be Fisk Junior for sure.
He do, man. He do. And it's just kind of like, so when it first looks like it, so my first time watching it, I'm like, this dude gonna get himself killed. Like,
yes, I thought so too. I was like, oh, he about to die. He died in the first episode, maybe the second.
I didn't think so. I thought
I had him dying by episode 3.
He's gonna live. He's gonna be a part of it because he just seemed like, to me, he gave kiss ass, and I immediately didn't like him. Like
he does.
It's like seeing a kiss ass at work. I don't like him. Like, make my skin crawl. I knew he was gonna be with the shits and all with the fuckery, but how he went about it, I did not expect it.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's why I thought he was going to get killed. I didn't think he was about that.
I thought he was dumb as a box of rocks. I didn't realize how calculated he is. He's very calculated.
Very.
I'm gonna tell you what he also reminded me of, because I was like, this new season is speaking to so much stuff. I was like, Fisk is feeling like your boy, it's a YouTuber. She calls him White Sap, your stupid ass president. He comes off as that, and I was like, and Daniel comes off as all the MAGA fanatics that's out there. That's like regurgitating all the talking points. That's kissing all the ass. Is like, oh, it's the best thing since sliced bread. It was like, bro, this sounds just like that. He's the press
secretary.
That's a really good comparison.
Oh yeah, and he's the
press secretary. Come out and just say the foolery. Like, nigga, did you hang yourself? It sounds crazy.
That's true. That's
a really good comp, Willie. That's a really good comp.
Mm-hmm. I was like, bro, this is literally real life. This is literally real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also felt like this was going back to the comment you made, Nia, about him being like Fisk Jr. I was like, this feels like a situation where it's like Fisk is seeing himself in this boy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what? I can mold him into the man that I wish my dad would have molded me into. Give him, give him the straight and narrow, put him on the right track, get him together, and make him into what he felt like he should be.
Yeah. I don't like him.
Right?
No. I think that's on purpose. I don't think anybody's supposed to like him.
I know that.
I think that's on purpose. Like the little glimmer of hope where you thought he was going to be cool, they snatched that away real fast.
Oh, for sure. Yes, definitely.
They snatched that away real fast.
Yeah. They do that a lot. They do that a lot during this. They do that a lot during this season.
Yeah.
You're like, Dad. Oh, never mind.
Right.
Facts.
Just when you thought.
When you thought.
I had hope for you. No. All right.
Yeah. For real.
And then the other person I thought was gonna get themselves killed, but not maybe a little bit later in the season, is old girl that keep arguing with Fisk. I'm bruh, if you don't get it, that this man is a whole
he will kill you. Bitch, shut up.
Mob king, like, lady, chill out. Like, I'm gonna need you to chill all the way out.
I thought she was going to end up stashed away. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't think he was going to straight up kill her because she seemed too connected. But I thought she was going to end up stashed away somewhere.
Stashed away or something.
I thought she was going to be murdered.
Right.
Immediately, because she was just like, no, what? No, this is not the way it's done. And like you see how irritated he got on the highway when they was blocking traffic.
Every time.
This ain't, you ain't safe.
Like, right, we're gonna need you to chill out, ma'am. Chill out.
Too smart for her own good.
That
Too
part.
smart for her own good. Like,
She
down.
by the book, not realizing that this man is like everything that they said about him is a fact.
Right.
Fact, but you need to know he ain't living right.
But that goes back to Willie's example, right? Because you know, in real life, you gotta figure there's somebody like that in the White House that has to deal with bull. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to do things by the book. They sit there telling him, bro, you can't say that. Bro, we can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. And he's like, yeah, but
Yeah.
And you know, they got to deal with the fallout. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Trying to keep him from, you know, getting himself impeached left and right. And probably, you know, every day is hanging on a thread. But
yeah.
Man.
That's
and then we already kind of touched on Vanessa a little bit, but just
this here you saying touching on Vanessa, you in trouble.
Pause, right? But yeah, I think
embarrass me in front of her.
Man, he be getting riled up when it comes to Vanessa.
Man, what?
Don't say about that. He don't play.
He don't play about her.
Yeah, but I was definitely happy they brought the actress back to play her.
Me too.
She plays a very, very good, like naive yet super smart yet diabolical character. The range of that character is crazy. Because she comes off so innocent and so like, oh, I'm just a professional that's just doing my job and just, you know, out here doing my thing. And then you see her working with the monsters and she's like, look, don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
What? And then her watching her husband be a total monster and she with it. Like,
yeah,
bro.
She just was chilling like, all right, well, y'all know he crazy. I don't know why y'all acting like like I love him. He's crazy as hell. He get on my nerves. I don't like him sometimes, but yeah, I love him.
Right, but I love him. But I love he.
Yeah.
No, you right there. It's crazy range. Like you can't really tell what she on from 1 minute to the next.
No, not at all. Not at all. And that's the one thing, the mystery of
poker
her
face, man.
Poker face, exactly. Thank you. And I think that's. But then too, I think one thing I was liking during this first season and going from episode to episode is watching her like reveal certain things, like revealing why she's so mad at him. Like she kind of talked about it at length, but then the why, and then also her demeanor about certain things. You know, I think we got a taste of that in the original first couple of seasons, but it was like, I don't know, it just seemed more evolved to me. You know what I mean? It just felt more mature, that she was just so cutthroat and so sinister, but without appearing to be that sinister and cutthroat. You know,
they fleshed her dimensions out a little bit more with what they gave us in this season about her backstory, giving us more about that. Actually made certain things about her make a lot more sense.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, so episode 1 was amazing. I didn't expect us to talk this much about episode 1, but I want to go ahead and jump into episode 2 and what was happening with that. And what was it? It was the big thing I wanted to touch on. I'm sorry, I'm trying to jump back into my notes. Of course, my computer
got the notes ready.
For me. Yeah. You know, I'll be trying to have it together. Hold on a second. Episode 2. I should have had it just both on the screen at the same thing. Here we go. Now I got it. All right. Oh man, my thing just freeze up. I'm sorry, y'all. My computer is like acting crazy. Okay, here we go. All right. So yeah. So this one was oh yeah, this is our homeboy, right? White Tiger, the episode.
Yeah.
And So the biggest thing for me at the beginning of that one, because it like I don't know why I didn't expect this. Because I'm like, okay, episode 1 started with a bang. Episode 2 starts with another bang.
Yeah.
And
they right off the
subway
court.
fight. The subway fight. It wasn't the most like amazing fight or nothing. It's just
Not just how the fight ended.
It's just how it ended.
Yeah, the ending was like, oh
shit. Because you knew it was important. You knew something was going
on.
And why these pieces are coming together. I guess y'all just gave y'all reaction. What was y'all reaction to that build up and then that whole first scene?
Yeah, I was not expecting that it to end like that. Or the plot twist later, right? Mm-hmm. But it was just like, oh, he stumbled upon some, mind his business, la 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 la. Oh, let me help someone. And then it goes extremely left, and like it was crazy. It was something like it's that moment of like, what the hell's going on? Because you don't understand what's going on. You like, this is the regular Joe Schmo, mind his business. I am in my going into this, I thought that he was going to try to help, and he wasn't really anyone. And then Daredevil was going to come out of nowhere and do something. And that did not happen. It was right. Really different. So it was like, oh, okay. Well, what the hell is about to happen next? And, of course, we know what happens next. But yeah, initially that was like, I was expecting like Daredevil to be like low key doing like saving little small gestures to save people. Nothing too major. Just a little hiccup right quick. I'm going to just handle this and go about my business. It wasn't that.
Yeah. My first time watching, I didn't recognize, I didn't see, any paraphernalia to let me know who homeboy was.
Yeah.
So I just see boy going downstairs, and I'm like, oh man, this might not end well for him. Like once I saw he was getting involved, I'm like, this could possibly not end well for him. Like, you know what I mean? They might. I'm thinking, they might pull the burner on him or something like that, and this end up being a some kind of mystery that Matt got to solve, or the witness. He got to protect the witness now. That's what I was thinking initially might happen. I thought that he was going to end up getting taken out, and that's not how it went. But I did not see the way that fight ended. I ain't see that nothing.
In the splatter, bro. The blood splatter was crazy.
Jumping off the porch every episode. This is how it's gonna be.
And then like the way the fight happened, and then just to go kapack him. It's like you don't even know what to do. You just sitting there like, oh, damn. Like it may put you in a place of minding your business on the subway in New York.
For sure.
And the way them trains come.
Bro,
and then you sit there watching something happen, and all of a sudden, life is ended, it's over, it's done.
That's it. That quickly. That's it, and that's all.
Like okay.
Immediately, bye. Good day. That reaction
was crazy, man.
That was super crazy. Yeah, like you said, Sonny, I definitely the shock factor of it all was what got me, because I was just like, all right, he getting with him. Then old boy pulled that badge out. Or no, he tripped him first and then got hit by the train. I'm like, shoot, like, oh. And the old boy pulled the badge out. I'm like, oh, come on. What is going on?
I thought they was gang members at first.
I didn't even realize he took the badge out. And I watched it twice. What?
I mean, technically they still are, but that's another story.
We're not going to go there, but, dropping gems.
I thought they was, that's what I thought it was going to end up being like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he ran up thinking it's just a regular old Jack situation, and come to find out, they some made men or they some LinkedIn gang members. So
I thought
a bigger thing.
Like one of those mob guys.
Yeah. So I'm thinking there's going to be a bigger deal that he going to have to deal with that he don't even realize.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like, this might not end well for him, even if he wins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I did not see that coming.
At all. And then the next scene when Matt is in the at the jail, and he hears him getting worked over. I'm like, I already saw that coming.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't kill the cop, you about to get beat down. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy.
I think he's gonna be lumped up. Yeah.
Right. And then when he had the conversation with him and he was listening to him, he's like, okay, You seem to be telling the truth, but you also seem to be hiding something. I did not expect for him to be hiding the fact that he was White Tiger. I'm like, bro, what?
Yeah, it took me a second before I could see what was around his neck, and then I'm like,
Yeah, I
okay.
didn't expect that either. But I'm like, it was like dope for him to come into the station, and then of course we had superhero, and he like, oh shit is happening over there. I got to be over there. He wasn't even in the case that he was supposed to be in. He like, all right, this or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why he always do people like that though? They be literally having a whole conversation.
He just zone out like
he like. I hear popcorn popping. Like, nigga, you don't start paying attention to me. Man, I'm over here.
I know they gotta be annoyed, man.
I'm gonna be annoyed. Like,
you're supposed to be my representation. I'm talking to you. You look like you done spaced out, bro.
You're totally spaced out.
Haven't cared all season about you. I'm about to be over there with this guy.
Right.
Like,
they said you was blind. They ain't said you was crazy.
Exactly. Like, bruh.
They set me up.
You set me up.
Like nobody cares. La la la.
Mad as hell. Yeah, I'm definitely going to appeal this. They gave me a blind and crazy lawyer, man.
Yeah,
what am I supposed to do with that? How am I supposed to win?
It's got to be a mistrial. Like, but sir, you won. I still want an appeal.
I don't like one. I still want an appeal. Is crazy.
I'm following the
Man, it gotta suck losing to him. I don't care what nobody say. I know they be mad losing to Matt. I know they be mad, man.
For sure. Yeah. You know they do. Because it's like how?
Because he talked too slick in the courtroom, man. He talked too slick in that courtroom.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I mean the fact that he comes up with these crazy like stunts that he does in the courtroom, and then it's like you said, they like I don't already researched all this stuff. I done did this, that, and the third, and you still coming through, bro? How?
And on top of that, he got the spidey sense to know when you lying. So you up there talking, and like you on straight bullshit. I know you are. So now I'm about to. All right, so let's try this. And like you're not thinking like because you don't know that as like a regular, you don't know that somebody's heartbeat started racing. Now you know they but telling the bullface lie. So now you're like, all right, so let me just go on with this one. And it's a lot. So yeah. I love him as a lawyer. And it's funny. And then he probably got sympathy because he walk around with a cane, can't see. So that he already got sympathy with the jurors anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's not just his hearing. Like the man could smell stuff. So you sitting there like, I wasn't nowhere near there. And he's like, oh, okay. What cologne do you use?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's not what you smell like today.
Right. You smell like you was over at the cheesesteak stand.
Okay.
That part.
And you know who live above the cheesesteak stand? Not your wife. Like, you know what I mean?
Man. Put people on front.
He do, man. It's tough.
Yeah.
Too tough. But yeah. Man, it's getting late already. Dang. Okay, we're gonna do this again. We're gonna do this again.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
This episode 2. We're gonna talk about episode 3. We're gonna try to get through episode 3 and 4 in the next thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go through all the pre-story and all the characters and everything.
Right.
Now we knee deep in it.
Man, super knee deep in it. I did finish the series.
Okay.
Amazing. It was amazing. I ended up, I was telling Sonny how like during the first couple episodes, it was like that up and down, that slow burn episodes. I was like, once we hit episode 4, it was just like boom, and just started taking off. And I ended up sitting through episodes like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 all in one night. I just was like, I can't stop watching. I just can't stop watching.
Yeah, I told him at 9, I was like, wait a minute, ain't no more episodes?
Man,
like,
what?
Once it went down, I'm like, oh, all right, the next episode about to come on, I'm about to watch. So no, ain't no more. I'm on Google, like, how many episodes? Am I missing something?
Yeah.
But yeah, I know next season about to come in. So we thought this season came in with the bang. This one about to come in with like
it got and I feel like what's crazy? I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. If they just slow walk you into it again.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because this was the first time the series has come back under Marvel. You know what I mean?
Right.
Since the merger. So them jumping off the porch with it the first couple of episodes so fast, it was like we couldn't have seen that coming. But now I feel like they're going to know that we expecting that, so they might just go ahead and flip the hitters with the other thing where it started off slow, and then by the time the episode ends, you see the cook up coming. So you know what I mean. It could go either way, and I love that. I love that. I love when you make
I love
not know what to expect.
It's a slow burn, but it's always so right. It's done so
perfect. Man.
It's always done.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's done with such intention, and it's like I trust wherever y'all taking the story.
Oh yeah.
I like
wherever y'all taking the story.
They had me when they brought the characters back, even though they kicked Foggy and them out. I like.
I ain't gonna lie. I was hoping the Foggy thing was fake. I was hoping that we wasn't seeing what we were seeing.
I was hoping it was gonna be like
like he in the hospital. I was hoping I was gonna see him in the hospital. The you know what I'm saying, machine breathing for him. Like they brought him back.
Heard that heartbeat, it was up.
Right.
I knew.
Man, once I saw the flyer for the funeral. I curled over on the side of my bed like, no. They really got him up out of here.
They literally got him up out of there, bro. Nothing but flashbacks from here on out.
Right. Shout out to the I can't remember his name, but shout out to the actor that played Foggy. I don't know if y'all remember. That was the original Bash brother from the Mighty Ducks. Shout out to him.
Oh my God, I love that movie. Yeah. I knew he looked familiar and I couldn't place his face.
He's the original Bash brother.
Daredevil. I'm like, he looked mad familiar.
Yep. Fuller, I want to say his name was.
Crazy.
Yeah. The OG big man from the Mighty Ducks.
Right.
Well,
incredible actor, man. He deserved his flowers. He didn't get to showcase it much.
Right.
But get that man his flowers.
For sure. Man. Well, appreciate y'all joining me for this to talk about this show. We're gonna get back in here. If we can do it next week, let's do it again next week.
I'm here for it.
For sure. All right. In the meantime, now tell everybody where they can find you.
Hey man, it is your favorite fast freckle man, your favorite coach, the big dog himself. Nah from Life, the Life. And y'all can find us on as far as just following us, you can find us on TikTok, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and as far as the actual content, usually Thursday nights we are live on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live. Facebook not Charles, but YouTube is Life Be Life. So and audio, you could definitely find us on most of the audio platforms. Thanks for having me tonight, y'all.
No problem.
Thanks. Appreciate you coming through.
Oh, geez, I need to be in bed. All right, guys, it's your girl Sunny. I am Sunny_D. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, or visit me at unreservedlyme.com. For y'all who missed Sunday, it was that live show was lit.
Podcast Link Philly.
Yeah. Follow Podcast Link Philly on Instagram for some of our clips. And check out and follow it on YouTube. Go look up Podcast Link Philly and follow it on YouTube. Our content is posted there. So it was fun. It was fun.
For sure. And this your boy Willie Stylez in the building. Get at me everywhere at Willie Stylez on IG and Twitter. I'm Willie.Stylez on Snapchat and TikTok. Catch me over at stylesradio.com for all my hot tracks that I'm listening to. I just started listening to some new Coco Jones, some new T Grizzly. Got a lot of that on there, so make sure you check that out. WillieStylez.info for all my links. Get at me. Y'all know where to find me. You know where to find us. You know, we're here throughout the week. We always have some different shows pop up. So make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe. You can catch us Mondays, 10 p.m. With the whole group. We all get together. Night was on last week with us. Make sure y'all check that out. And then Tuesday, or actually Mondays at 2 a.m. How to Hustle podcast on Hype. Always drops on your favorite audio platforms as well as on YouTube. Make sure you guys check that out. And like they said, make sure you go look out for the replay of the Pod League live show. They just had the show last week. Empire Strikes Back. That was a hot show, live show. Make sure you guys check that out. And, as always, you can get over to our website, gftradioshow.com, for all of our links, all of our socials, so you know where to find us. Make sure you like, follow, share, subscribe, hit up to join the conversation group so you can have discussions with us. We've got great topics over there. I just dropped a couple of topics on there recently, tons of other topics from other folks over there.
Yeah.
Actually, Sunny's sister and I just dropped 2 other topics over there too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a bunch of good conversation going on over there. So make sure you guys check that out. And also listen free on demand, all of your favorite audio platforms where you can find our audio as well as video replays on Twitch, Facebook, and on YouTube. All right, until next time, which we should be back on Monday, I believe. So make sure you guys check us out, like, follow, share, subscribe. Until then, we are out. Catch y'all later.